In a World Cup opener full of drama, passion and a whole lot of penalty kicks, it was the hosts France who came out on top, defeating the All Blacks 27-13. Kia ora, I'm Cheree Kinnear and this is the New Zealand Herald's video news show, Beyond the Game. Well, it certainly wasn't the way Kiwi fans will have wanted this game to go, but one thing's for sure, this was an opener that did not disappoint. News Talk ZB commentator Elliott joins me. Now, Elliott, you picked France to win by 4, but in the end, they won by a little bit more than that.
Yeah, 4 times 4, 16, what was it? It was 16, 14, whatever it was in the end. It wasn't pretty for the All Blacks, was it, that scoreline? You know, they were in the contest probably till about the hour mark, and then it just began to slip away from them. They couldn't get in the right areas of the field. They were conceding penalties, and France just inched ahead by 6 points, and then that try right towards the end snuffed out any hope of the All Blacks taking the victory, but also any bonus points out of it. So they leave with nothing for the first time in their history. They don't win a pool game at the World Cup, and actually don't get any points out of it either.
We do have to talk about those penalties, as you've mentioned. Northern Hemisphere rugby at its finest, am I right?
Well, yeah, the All Blacks just didn't adapt, to be fair. 12 penalties they conceded to 4, and that's really going to be a tough ask throughout the game. And France, you know, they credit them, they kicked their goals. Thomas Ramos is one of the best goal kickers going around at the moment. He had 5 opportunities for penalty goals, or converted 5 penalty goals. So that just began to inch away on the scorecard for the All Blacks, and they just weren't able to find their way back into the contest. And that's something they've really got to look at. Their discipline was really good in the opening 3 tests of the year, 4 as well, if you include Australia and Dunedin. It's dropped off a cliff in the last couple of weeks. First at Twickenham against South Africa, where they conceded plenty of penalties and had plenty of cards dished out, and then again tonight, 12 penalties to 4, 5 of those taken by Thomas Ramos, and a yellow card to Will Jordan as well. That's not going to win World Cups, and it obviously hasn't won the opening game either.
Yeah, not the way they would have wanted to start this campaign. We got the All Blacks' reaction after the game. Here's what they had to say.
You never want to lose, in any test match, but round robin World Cup, yeah, it definitely hurts. It's something that you always want to start a tournament and get out on the right side of it with a good win, but we didn't do that tonight. So it's just making sure that we give ourselves time to dwell on it, but then at the same time we've got to get back on the horse pretty quickly, because this tournament doesn't stop, it keeps going, so we can't waste any time.
Oh, we had plenty of opportunities. There was such a good first half. We knew it was going to be a tough game. Amazing atmosphere, 2 teams going for it, and yeah, we took our opportunities early, which was really good, and striked well off lineouts, put them under a lot of pressure, scored off 1, and then we got into their 22 2 or 3 times and just couldn't quite execute the last little bits. And that's the positive, is if we nail 2 or 3 of those moments, what would the score have been, and what would the score have been at half time, and what a different game could have been. But in the second half we came out and we couldn't exit well.
Yeah, some disappointed players there, understandably. But there were some good moments for the All Blacks. They started the second half the same way they kicked off the first with a try from Mark Talia. Can they take some confidence from that?
They'll have to take something out of it, because those were the 2 big moments of the game. Yeah, starting strongly and scoring through Mark Talia, scoring the first points of the Rugby World Cup, great. Second half, they were behind heading into the second spell, scored the first points of the second half. That was good as well. Unfortunately, they just lost the arm wrestle throughout the rest of the game, so they need to find a way. We touched on the discipline already. They need to find a way to get in the arm wrestle, play in the right areas of the ground. France just dictated things in the closing stages of the game. Yeah, 27-13 may be a wee bit of a flattering scoreline for the French, who I don't think played at their entire best tonight. But the All Blacks have to find a way to play in the right areas of the park. They didn't really get into the French 22 in the second spell, so they've got to find a way to do that. If they can, then all is not lost for the All Blacks. They're just going to have to do it the hard way over the next few weeks.
If we do look quickly to France, was there anything in particular that stood out to you?
I thought their number 8 man of the match was superb, Gregory Aldrit. A superb game. He was a bit like Ardie Savea plays for the All Blacks, but I thought he outpointed Ardie tonight. He was just everywhere with ball in hand, made some big tackles as well. And I think you've got to give credit to their fullback as well, Thomas Ramos, who slotted those 5 penalties and just kept France, the score ticking over for them, and putting pressure on the All Blacks. Scoreboard pressure is so big in Test rugby, and Ramos was key behind that as well. So France will be really happy with that, top of the table after that opening game, and they're setting sail, you would think, already for the quarterfinals.
Well, one thing that stood out to me about the French was the crowd in there tonight, and that crowd was absolutely electric in the stadium. We caught up with some of the excited fans after the match, as well as some of the disappointed All Blacks fans.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Now I can go to drink in a lot of bars, so I'm very happy. Yes, why not? And my brother is... It's very good game.
It's all right. It is what it is. It was a good game, but never mind. Yeah.
At the end of the day, the French played well. They won it.
Yeah.
And New Zealand still has a chance. It's not the end.
Incredible game. I'm just so thrilled for France, for New Zealand, like the amazing first game for the World Cup. I'm so emotional right now. I'm so sorry.
They played terrible, deserved to lose. Sad, eh?
Just up the wires. That's all we're focusing on now. Up the wires.
Happy, yes. France is... New Zealand is bad.
La France c'est la meilleure équipe.
Well, some very excited French fans there after the match. Let's take a quick look at that pool table. France take the first game with a win next to their name, but still plenty of rugby to go. The All Blacks with a chance to get on the board with their second pool game against Namibia next week. Thank you so much again, Elliott, for your time. And that's it from us signing off here in Paris. We'll see you next time on Beyond the Game.